Hey everybody, I'm JimClassic and you are watching Geekin' It. And for today's video, I would like to talk about the Transformers Age of the Primes Leader Class G2 Grimlock. Now, we've already discussed at least one Grimlock on this channel, and that was the Shattered Glass version. I never talked about the 86 version, and I never got the Marvel Comics version or the Godzilla one, which I'm not even sure if the Godzilla one is out yet. But either way, this is my third Leader Class Grimlock. So let's not go too far into the details here. We've already seen Grimlock about 1,000 times. This is about the 6th version of the Studio Series Grimlock mold, and actually the second G2 version. The first one was like the Toxitron one, which I also have. But it's... But this was the first original G2 Grimlock. And, yeah, okay, this arrived. We'll be talking about this too. Anyway, let's talk about the box just for a second before we open this guy up. All right, we're not going to spend a lot of time on the box here, but, you know, we do see the product shot of Grimlock right there, and I just want to say I love this artwork. I love this artwork of Grimlock. Right there, I think it looks amazing, and to me, that's the only thing I really want to talk about the box. We've seen these boxes a million times. We don't need to go into it at in great detail. You know, side art of Grimlock and Wheelie, and yes, I forgot Wheelie's in this, but whatever. Product shot on the back. We've seen this before, of course, and then of course the Legacy of the Primes or the Age of the Primes thing. So anyway, I just want to focus on that artwork, which I think is just absolutely amazing. I'm cutting this out and I'm keeping it. And I would say, though, there's only one other thing about this which I'm not a big fan of, and that for the Age of the Primes G2 Grimlock, they use the G1 Autobot symbol. When, I mean, I don't see why it's so difficult for the printing department to just put in a G2 Autobot symbol. You know, make it G2 appropriate, but all right, whatever. I'm not going to make a big stink about that. It's just, I see it as a missed opportunity. Anyway, there's Wheelie down there. Let's open this figure up and see what they are all about. He's big. He's blue. He is 1992. No, actually, it's 1993, I think. But anyway, yeah, here we have G2 Grimlock. And, you know, we're not going to go too much into this because we've all seen Studio Series Grimlock before, but you know, this figure does not cease to impress me. I really do like it. I mean, the details are all good. The paint apps on the chest. I love the gold here. And okay, sure. Okay, sure. G1 Autobot symbol, but that's molded in, and you know, I mean, even the G2 toys did come with G1 Autobot symbols. So I can't hate too much on that, but just this figure is just so freaking cool. You know, I really like the way... I mean, Grimlock is a classic design. He's big. He's blue. He's from 1992. Well, 93, really. But anyway, G2 Grimlock. And, I mean, like I said, we're not going to go too in-depth in this figure. We've all seen the 86 Grimlock design, if not from the Shattered Glass or the Toxitron series or the comic book edition, which I kind of regret not getting the comic book edition, but whatever. Maybe one day I'll still get it. But G2 Grimlock was my first Grimlock. I mean, I didn't get G1 Grimlock. I didn't get G1 Grimlock until I was already a man. I got G1 Grimlock like 5 years ago from one of my cousins. Because he found it in the basement or something. But yeah, G2 Grimlock was my first Grimlock. And even though I am an 84, you know, G1er and all that, but yeah, I mean, this figure does not cease to amaze me. Okay, well, that's one thing I want to talk about. The chest does kind of pop off a little bit, which that could be mold degradation. But anyway, but yeah, I mean, this guy does not cease to amaze me. He just looks good. He looks powerful. You know, Grimlock looks like he's about to stomp Decepticons flat. He's got a great level of articulation. You can get this guy in all sorts of cool battle poses and stuff. And, of course, we have, you know, his iconic double-barreled blaster. I wish Grimlock came with the sword. He doesn't come with the Energon sword like the comic book version comes with the sword, but this is the one that's this is the one that was the 86 Studio Series one, so it comes with, I guess, a G2 version of Wheelie. Ball-jointed head, ball-jointed shoulders, waist swivel, ball-jointed hips. But he's just in a permanent squatting position. I mean, he does come with the weapon. Is a little slingshot. It's nice, I guess. Goes right there. You know, you can get him in action poses like that, like he's firing at Sharkticons and stuff, but I kind of like the color scheme. Like, the color scheme does look like something that we would have seen in G2 had Wheelie been a G2 toy. So I guess there's that. But, yeah, whatever. Whatever, you know? We don't care. We're not in this for Wheelie. We're not here for Wheelie. We're here for G2 Grimlock, the big blue bad Dinobot. But yeah, I love this figure. I've always loved this figure. I mean, I even bought the Toxitron version because I'm like, well, we're probably not getting a blue Grimlock. I guess we're gonna... Comparing Big Blue Grimlock to some of his other mold mates, you can see he's not as garish as the Toxitron version, but I think he stands out a bit more than the Studio Series G1 Grimlock. Of course, where would G2 Grimlock be without his fellow G2 Autobots? There aren't a lot of them, but the few that I do have make up the start of a solid team. Alright, so we've gone over the robot mode pretty quickly here, but let's get this guy into Dino mode. So, for starters, I like to start with the hands. So we're going to open up the claws all the way. Now, one thing I found that was pretty tight was the fists. This one was fine, but the left one... Well, the left one, okay. The left one's fine now, but it did give me some resistance earlier. So, alright, we got the fists out of the way. Alright, this is the part where we loosen up the chest. We're going to put that down there, straighten up those hips, and we're going to put the chest right down there. Right down there, in between the hips. Head goes down. And, you know, Grimlock's transformation is very simple. If you don't know how to transform a G1 Grimlock of any kind, you know, I don't know what to say. But he's a simple guy to transform. Alright, now we're going to flip up the head to that, like so. Alright, get those legs ready to go. Get those dino legs, I should say, ready to go. Now, for the robot legs, we're going to open them up. We're going to fold down the heels. We're going to open up these tails. They kind of hinge out like so. I think I already talked about this with the Shattered Glass Grimlock. I'm pretty sure I had to have. Open up those tails like so. And we're going to... Whoops. Let's fold back those tails. Now we fold the legs. There we go. Like so. Yeah, I got ahead of myself with the tail. Fold the legs like so. Kind of tab them together a little bit. Now we can open up the tail without any real restrictions. Fold that. Fold that. Tab them together like so. And here we have Grimlock. Me, Grimlock. Yeah, he's just a big silly dino. He's just a big silly blue dino, and you know, you can't hate this toy. He's just a big goofy looking thing. But yeah, let's just talk about this guy. Big blue dinosaur. Again, we got those kind of classic G2 colors. And I've always liked the clear plastic with the mechanical details. I mean, that's from the original G1 toy. I don't think 86 Grimlock did not have this, but Shattered Glass Grimlock did have this. And I'm pretty sure the comic book version doesn't have this. But like I said, I don't have the comic book version. But I've always adored the clear plastic. And you know, we got an Autobot symbol. We got an Autobot symbol kind of split down the middle. And again, I see this as a missed opportunity. They could have done a G2 Autobot badge, but, and this is the one thing I do love that they included, They did put the G2 Autobot stamp right there on the tail, just like in the old G1, just like in the old G2 toys. Like every G2 Transformer had either this or the Decepticon one. So, you know, at least they brought back that homage. It's on both sides of the tail, and I do like that. I do dig that homage. There is some weapon storage. Is there weapon storage? No, there's no weapon storage. Yeah, there is weapon storage. There is some weapon storage. You can put the gun. There's a little tab right there by the clip, and there's tabs right here on the tail. You can kind of just do that, and Grimlock can hold the gun like that on his back. And of course, Wheelie is compatible with Grimlock in robot mode. He's got little pegs right here, like little Frankenstein bolts right there on his neck, and Wheelie's got little holes on his knees. So what you do is you put the peg right there on his knees, and you know, Wheelie kind of just straddles Grimlock a little bit. So then, while Grimlock's in Dino mode doing Dinobot things, you know, Wheelie can sit atop and start shooting Sharkticons. So that's cool. I mean, I guess it's, yeah, alright, it is kind of cool. I do kind of like that feature. I might not like the toy, but I like that feature. And, yeah, that's it. And here's Grimlock's T-Rex mode compared to the other Grimlocks. And again, he looks good with them. And he does a decent job standing out more than his older G1 self, but not as much as the bold yellow tiger-striped version. And of course, here we have my original G2 Grimlock stacked up next to Age of the Primes G2 Grimlock. And, you know, obviously you see where the inspiration came from right there. Even the Autobot stamp there on the side, even though that's really faded. You know, I've had this toy since like 1993, so and he's not in the best condition. But yeah, it doesn't stand all that well either. But yeah, so I mean, here's how the two G2 Grimlocks stack with each other, original and modern, and it's all really cool. G2 Grimlock. I mean, Grimlock is solid. Yeah, the chest does unpeg, but it's 86 Grimlock. If you already have him, you know, you're not getting anything new. You're just getting a really cool G2 color deco. And if you don't have any of the G1 Grimlocks, yeah, this isn't a bad one to get. I mean, you know, if you have no preference to your Grimlocks, this is a fine Grimlock to get. Just be aware there may or may not be some mold degradation. I don't know. I can't verify if that loose chest is mold degradation or not, because I haven't heard anything about the chest. I heard some of the arms were a bit loose, but you know, I also don't know my own strength sometimes, so this could be a JimClassic issue. I don't know. But yeah, you know, Age of the Primes G2 Grimlock, I dig it. I love it, and I recommend it. And that's it. That's it for me. It's a short video. I'm JimClassic. You have been watching Geekin' It. I will see you all next time. If I would like to hear what your thoughts are on G2 Grimlock. I'd like to know if yours has any mold degradation issues, if yours is loose and floppy at all, or if yours is solid. You know, tell me your opinions in the comment section. I will see you guys later. Take care.